Okay, welcome everybody. This is the video for installing your Stage 2 intercooler kit on your Stage 1 or freshly installed RK supercharger kit for your E39 M5. First thing you're going to want to do, I'm not going to actually assemble anything here in the video, but I am going to illustrate what it looks like when it's completed. First thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put on your new pulley. I have a different pulley than you, but it's the same size. You want to leave the belt attached if you are installing it as a retrofit, a Stage 1 going to Stage 2, your current pulley. You want to remove this bolt. Then you want to release the tension on the tensioner down here and remove the belt and the pulley and install your new belt and pulley that was included in your kit. Those of you that come with Stage 2 complete kits can skip this part because your pulley is already installed. You're going to want to put your belt on. You're going to want to put your belt on before you put the charge pipe on, because the charge pipe obviously makes it difficult, a little bit more difficult to get at the tensioner down here. So sorry, my videography skills, easy for me to say, it's kind of lacking, but we'll get through it. So to get the charge pipe on, you're going to want to likely bring it up from the bottom of the car, and this is after. Get up underneath the car. Okay, step one of putting together your RK Stage 2 intercooled supercharger kit is take everything off that you don't see here in front of the camera. So you'll notice there's no aux fan. Normally would have resided on these two nuts and two down below it. There's also the front plastic shroud. You're going to remove that from these three guys up here. Go ahead and pull the rivets out, pull the whole thing off. Take your aux fan off. There are, I don't know if we can see them back there. There are two of the bottom studs for this that we cannot see down here, but that's okay. They need to be cut back to about 1/4 of an inch to make room for the intercooler. The bottom part of the radiator shroud as well should also be trimmed back flush. I don't know if you guys can see this yet, right here. This part goes along the bottom. You want to trim that back flush as well. Make room for your nice big massive intercooler. Okay, so once you have all of that completed, you can see it over here as well. It's trimmed flush. Where's my hand? There we go. Trimmed flush, like so. Then we get to installing the intercooler itself. You're going to want to put the brackets on by using the 8mm standoff that sits there. I don't know if you can see that exceedingly well. There we go, there. So this goes on the one of the bumper carrier nuts. You actually remove the nut, replace it with the standoff. Get out of my own shadow. The standoff here, and you bolt through this, or bolt into the standoff that's now connected. So you tighten this up to hold your bumper carrier or bumper bracket on, and then bolt into this with the 8mm by 10 shorter of the bolts provided for the in the bag with the intercooler brackets and bolts and split washers. So you're going to put the bracket on first and slide it all the way over, leave it loose. Same thing on the driver's side, same deal with installation of the standoff and the bracket and the small nut, or smaller, shorter bolt. Then you want to bring the intercooler up And you want to thread these in so that they're also loose on both sides into the mounts, and that'll get it generally positioned for you. Ideally, you want the intercooler as high as it will go inside the mounts, and you can get your 45 degree vibrant 45 degree connector here and your 3-inch hose clamp. The T-bar clamps won't fit in here, so a 3-inch hose clamp works fine, and thread this on over the bumper support so that this is all put together, and you can tighten down your hose clamp. The shorter connector piece that's in there in your piping kit is for this area where you connect the 45 to the 90 degree, one of the 90s that we include that goes up into the engine bay, and you secure those with 2 of the provided T-bolt clamps. We'll do the top side in a minute. You can either use a T-bar on this side. I actually used a regular 3-inch. You're provided a T-bar for this side, and that's fine. It's got plenty of room for it. You will have to trim your 3-inch Vibrant 90 so that it's a little bit shorter on this side as it comes around. You can use a razor blade to cut it with a straight edge. You can use a miter saw to cut it. Just go slow. You can use a hacksaw to cut it, and use any number of things to cut this. They're pretty easy to cut, not a big deal. And the other thing that I actually forgot to tell you on this side is you need to remove your brake duct on this side, which bolts in right here and back here. So the brake duct that normally sits in here, the metal piece, I'll find it here on the floor here in a second. Where'd they go? There they are. So this guy got to come out. No room in the in for the pipe and the brake duct. So brake duct comes out. There's no worries. I'm going to take this out. It's with, I think, 10 millimeter plastic machine screws that screw in. So this has got to come out. The passenger side does not. I took mine out because we were figuring all this out. So the passenger side one does not need to come out. It will stay in there just fine. Also, it's your preference as to whether or not you remove your secondary air pump, which would normally reside here, up here where these bolts are. I took mine out because it was generally in the way when we were figuring out the routing, and the program that we use defeats the secondary air pump anyway, so no worries. Also, for those of you looking for the grounding point for your fan and whatnot, it's right here. This is a wonderful ground. This is the engine ground, so it is about the best ground on the whole freaking car. So yeah. So let's go down and I'll show you the top side. The intercooler install really is quite simple. So it's just pipes, putting an intercooler in, and the hardest part is trimming the bumper. That's really the only hard part. So